Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about 5 contestants I would like to see return as a surprise in the new season. Just to clarify, I know Disventure Camp isn't really planning on bringing anyone back yet, but I think they could bring back people how Survivor does it by bringing 2 to 4 people and naming captains or returning players. Also, I'm sorry if your favorite character isn't here. It's hard to make this list because some of the characters had their arcs be resolved at the end of All Stars. Number 5 on the list is Hunter. Now, I feel like out of most of the people from All Stars, you could do a lot with Hunter since he was barely in All Stars. And in Season 2, his main plot was the love triangle. Hunter also isn't as boring or bland as the other characters. He's a good strategist without doing it in a villainous way. He's also really good at challenges since he was pretty much unstoppable in Season 2. I think Hunter has really good dynamics with other people as well. This is clearly shown with him supporting Tess and showing interest in Ally. He also has some other cool dynamics I want to talk about. In Season 2, James and him have a good conversation which made me wish we got to see more of them as a duo. Also in Season 2, him trying to work with Rhea shows he is willing to be in alliance with a villain to try to win. We could see this with some of the new characters in Season 4 because I think there will be lots of villains. Some other cool dynamics Hunter had were Rosa, Gret and Jake, which prove he's a good character to have interesting dynamics with, so I think he would gel well with the new cast as a returning player. Number 4 I have on my list for a returning player I would like to see is Carol. Now hear me out on this one. Carol is hated, but I think she is very complex and strategic. Also, she helped push Rhea into a villain which can show she can add a lot to the plot. I don't think she is a villain, I think she is strategic and was done very dirty by James. You can also do a lot with Carol's character like giving her a redemption arc or show her in a more villainous light. I feel like she has a lot of potential like Eva from Total Drama but is done dirty by the writers. I would have liked to see Carol get far in the game. At number 3, I have Lil. I think she has a lot of potential like Carol since she was only in one season. Right now I'm predicting Season 4 will have a lot of villains, so I think having someone like Lil who is a hero and has nature skills would be a good way to add to this new season. I also think the writers did her dirty with Fiori's plot armor. She also was strategic from the start, making her alliance with Nick, Ashley and Will. I like strategic heroes since we didn't really get that in All Stars, and I'm hoping in Season 4 there are more of them. At number 2, I have Nick. Nick got 4th in the beta and was an important character, but I'm pretty sure they gave a lot of his plot to Alec in Season 1. I don't really remember beta too much. Even with his plot getting stolen, I think he still has a lot of personality to add. Nick has good remarks and I like his rich kid stereotype. They could also change his character in some ways since it would be his second time playing. They could go a more villainous route or make him more strategic. I think he could get embarrassed on how he played the first time and could want to switch up his gameplay. He also didn't make it far in Season 1, so he has lots of potential. This would also make a lot Nick fans happy that he is coming back, since he has a lot more than you would think. My number 1 player I would like to return for Season 4 is Dan. Now I could make a whole video why I think Dan is the best character in Disventure Camp, but I will do that later. This video will just be a few points why I think he would be a great player to return. First, I like strategic players, and Dan is definitely that. He makes an alliance with the boys on his team and forms a bond with Gabby. He also is smart and doesn't think with his heart but with his head. I think he would definitely analyze and learn from his mistakes from his first season and would play a more cutthroat game his second time back. Dan isn't a bland character like others say. I think he has funny remarks and could definitely have some cool friendships with the new cast. Dan is also one of the only Disventure Camp characters without some mushy sob story that the creators use in order to make people like specific characters. If you look back at All Stars, almost every character had some trauma the creators used in order to get sympathy for people to like them. Dan is one of the only normal characters in the show, and that's okay. It's okay for Dan not to have a sad sob story. I already feel season 4 will have a lot of those, so adding Dan would be refreshing and a break from that. Also, after All Stars, there were lots of ships the creators thought they should add, but this just made All Stars so messy and it felt like they focused more on love than the actual gameplay. I'm pretty sure there will be 3 couples canon in season 4 and I'm so tired of couples in Disventure camp. In Survivor there are usually 1 couple, sometimes not even per season. I'm making this point about the couples because Dan is asexual, so we wouldn't need to deal with annoying ships with his character if he came back for season 4 unless they added another asexual character for Dan to be with, but I doubt it. Anyways, this was a fun video to give ideas on how they could bring someone back like Survivor does in some seasons. I also doubt they would bring Dan back since Jared hates him. Dan is also dead, apparently.